Hey folks, it's Jang here from ultimaterc.com with a look at my setup of my SC10 4x4 four-wheel drive short course truck. A lot of folks have been asking me about what's going on under the hood of this thing. I've made a lot of changes compared to the box stock or kit stock setup, suspension stuff. I've tried different things with the drivetrain settings. So this video is just going to go into all the stuff that I've done to it and everything that I'm running on it now. All right, so looking up closer to it, first of all, before I even take the body off, the body that I'm running is the Proline Flowtech body, Flowtech SC body, specifically designed to fight parachuting. And I have a review video that I did about this body, so check that out. This body is not cut the way that Proline recommends. It's actually cut out quite a bit more. It's smaller and lighter and has a lot more holes in it to allow air to escape. So this, in tests, I've shown that this actually does fight parachuting a lot better than the stock body, even after cutting everything that I possibly could out of the stock body. And it also works much better than the Flowtech body with the standard cuts. So if you want to see more about the cuts that I've done and how I've sealed up some of these areas, I also have a video about just that, so you can find that on my channel. I'm still using the stock wheels. The tires that I've been using on here have been the Proline Whole Shot 2.0s. These are extra wide. They are actually, as of the time of this video, they are not roar legal. I did a video explaining that also. Hopefully they will become legal, but for now I'm running them because I'm not racing. I'm just running on the track, but in practice only. You can see that these have almost gone bald. I do very regularly rotate these to make sure that they wear out pretty evenly and to make sure that I get as much out of any given set of tires as possible, but these are almost done. Battery pack, as usual, my good old trusty Gens Ace 5000 milliamp hour 40Cs, some of the best batteries that you can get, and especially when you factor in the price, just blows everything else completely out of competition. I do run my battery all the way back. I've got the foam spacers, both of them are up towards the front, so the battery is actually scooted underneath this upper part of the chassis. It's all the way as far back as it can get. So I've got the most weight on the rear as possible. Turning it around and looking at the other side, my ESC is a Castle Mamba Max Pro, and I've got it hooked up to a 10-shock SC401 motor with a Integy fan on it. I do have a complete review video that I did on this motor. It is a 63 millimeter long, roughly 550 class 4-pole motor. I'm running the fan on it, which I had to actually cut a little bit off of the fan just to clear around these wires. This one right here reduced my temperatures by about 25 degrees, and it's just a pretty basic. For steering, you're not going to really see the steering servo up in there, but I am using a Savox servo. It is the 1257 TG, super high speed, fairly high torque, titanium geared servo. Costs about I think about 65 to 70 bucks. It's probably the best deal in ultra high speed servos that you can find. I'm not going to take the belt covers off, but I have the front clicker locked all the way down, so it's running pure four-wheel drive. My spur is the stock 62 tooth 32 pitch spur gear, and with this 10-shock 4600 kV motor, I'm running a 12-tooth pinion on it. If you're running the Castle, the more common Castle motor that a lot of people are getting, the 1410 3800 kV, you'll want to run probably somewhere between 14 and 16 teeth, depending upon the size of your track. For the diffs at the rear, I'm running just the stock oil that it came with, which is 3,000 weight, and they don't actually fill up the diff. You don't actually need to fill up the diff when you're dealing with oil that's that thin, but up front I tightened it up. I went with a 30,000 weight, and for that I did fill it up to make sure I didn't get too much emulsification with air in there. The thicker the oil is, the more important it is to fill it up all the way and not leave much air in there, because air will mix in and will actually change the viscosity of it. I'm also running sway bars now. At my local hobby shop, they got in the rear sway bars, but not the fronts. And I was just so anxious to get sway bars onto this poor truck that I got 2 sets of rears and made them work. It's not a perfect fit, but you can do it with the stock included hardware. At the rear, I'm running the softest ones from the rear kit. At the front, I'm running the medium set. The front suspension is mostly stock in terms of the geometry there, but I did stand up the shocks so that they're actually at the outermost hole on the shock tower, and that makes the dampening and spring action actually more direct. Has the effect of stiffening it up a little bit and actually slowing down the rate of roll a little bit more quickly. I did that in lieu of switching to larger springs or stiffer springs, because as of this time these springs are still not available in their different stiffnesses from Associated. It's a new size that they came up with for the SC10 4x4 in particular. The pistons are still stock in here, but I am running 35 weight shock oil, again to stiffen it up and to make it not roll quite so fast. Moving around to the rear, here I also put in 35 weight shock oil. I believe that I'm going to take that back down to 30 or something in the 27 range. This is all using Losi oil, by the way. I had gone stiffer to try to slow down the roll before I got the sway bars on there. Now that I have the sway bars, I'm actually going to lighten that back up a little bit, because the sway bars do their job quite well. At this inner camber link mount, I actually put a 2mm spacer underneath the ball stud, so it's actually standing the ball stud up a little bit more, a little bit higher than stock. What that does is lower the roll center so that it actually softens up. It reduces the roll resistance at the rear, which gives it a little bit more traction at the rear relative to the front compared to the stock setup, and also causes the roll angle to change, so the whole vehicle is doing more of this rather than rotating at a higher point. That seemed to help a little bit. I also moved these inner camber links out to the outer hole, which just increases the camber gain as the suspension compresses. Because I was finding that with the stock setup, the tire was rolling over too much, because it was just I was getting too much positive camber when the truck would roll. So this has helped with that and helped the wear pattern on the tire to become a lot more even. I did try using the innermost hole on the hub also to increase my camber gain even farther, but that just felt like it was a little bit too much. I felt like just kind of the midway setup there was the best for my particular needs. So there you go. That is my setup for the Associated SC10 4x4 as of this moment. Like I said, I did quite a lot of experimentation prior to getting to this point. Didn't really want to share all of the details of it until I had it feeling right. Obviously, the right setup for your track may very likely be different than my setup. This is set up for one particular condition, one particular running situation, one particular track, one particular layout on that track, one particular set of surface conditions. So don't just use this as some sort of Bible of this is how you set up an SC10 4x4. It's just giving you some reference points, and if you happen to have a track that is similar to the one that's at NorCal Hobbies right now as of the time of this video, then this is a good starting point for you for sure. So I hope that was useful info for you. I will be doing videos like this on more of my long-term videos or long-term vehicles in the future. So I know a lot of you guys are always asking what am I doing with my cars and can I just do a full overview? Now I'll be doing that. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the friendly forums at ultimaterc.com. By the way, if you have any questions or comments about this video or about my setup of this car, be sure to post them up in the thread and on URC that's about this video and about this truck. If you're watching this on URC, then you're right there. If you're watching this on YouTube, do not post a comment on YouTube because it will not be approved. I'm not doing the YouTube comment thing anymore because it just doesn't work. Just click on the link, it's right down below in the video description, and that'll take you to the thread on URC. Thanks, I'll see you next time.